Alright, so we'll get this video started. We are Team Sexton Off-Road, Team Yukon Racing. We live in Camas, Utah. It's just outside of Park City. I own a shop called Sexton Off-Road and would love you to follow me along for a little bit. Kind of give you a day in the life of what it takes to get to Hammers. And then kind of give you a little bit of a video of what we've been doing to prep for this race. You know, it's not a quick, easy day. You got to work hard. You got to get a lot of things accomplished. It's not just about the race car. It's about the crew. It's about the drive to get it done and get the jobs handled and deal with all the stress here so that you got less stress on the lake bed. We're going to make a quick bracket for the oil filter. So we're building a oil relocation bracket. We designed up our oil filter drop bracket, so we've got that. Now we've got to put it in the format that the table can recognize. There it is. Okay. Now we're going to turn on our machines. Now we're going to load it into our cutting program. There's our happy little bracket. Okay, we got our happy little bracket. Now we got to get it out of the metal, knock off the slag. This is my favorite tool I bought recently. It was this magnet. It's pretty cool. I can just, don't have to clamp anything down. I can just pull the magnet with it. You're gonna be really mad if it doesn't fit. Or it doesn't work. Hey, what's up, guys? This is Mike and LC. These guys are my pit crew, some of my pit crew. LC's the crew chief.
How you doing today?
So what we've been doing is reworking the exhaust. We kind of mocked it in there yesterday, but the angles and stuff weren't right, so nothing would work after we welded it all up. So we had to just change a couple angles on the back to get it to line up, go out the hole we need it to. This is the car we're working on right now. Race car's prepped and ready. This is our trail rig, pre-runner. We got a lot of work to do. I'm not sure we're gonna make it on this one. And then over here we got eggplant ready to go. If you don't remember this build, check it out on our website, our YouTube channel, Sexton Off-Road. Good morning. We're down at our Salt Lake City shop, located in Mill Creek, Utah. We are going to give you a little shop tour, and then we're gonna throw some paint on some panels. Doing a new color scheme this year, and you guys are gonna really like it. So let's go. This is our front office. This is where you find Dusty most of the time. This is the warehouse. We usually have pretty much anything in stock. Rebuild your differentials. We also stock a lot of Bronco parts. If you need a Bronco built, we do that as well. We do everything at Sexton Off-Road, from Jeep full customized Broncos. We do full restorations. We do ground up build-ups. We do a lot of gears and drivetrain. And you see us at all the vendor shows. Mostly in Jeep Safari, Trail Hero, Vernal Rock Rally, all the Utah shows for sure. So this is the service shop. We We do, like I said, we do lots of classic Bronco restoration. Boys are just showing up to work this morning. So this is a working shop. Unlike some of those other shops you see out there that have a 50,000 square foot shop and only one vehicle in it, Lauren Healy, we don't have that opportunity. We actually have to get work done around here. Customers take priority over race cars. This is the paint shop back here. Always got all sorts of interesting projects going on.
Nice gimbal.
We'll be mixing some paint up later, getting some panels painted for the race car.
Yes, we are.
Looks like a tire delivery just got here. Heck yeah. Mickey Thompson. So we just got our KOH tires. These are the Baja Boss XS. We've been running these for a few years now. They worked out great. Haven't had any flats on them in the last couple years. So we're doing great on these tires. We love these tires. Our class is 4800, so we run 37 1250s. That's limited tire size, and they have to be DOT approved. So you can get this same tire for your vehicles too. Works really well in the rocks. It's got a lot of traction. It's a great tire. All right, so we're in the paint shop right now. We're gonna check out what's going on over here. Got the race car panels in the booth ready to lay down some sealer on them so then we can throw some color on them today. Let's check it out.
I cleaned it up as best I could with the time.
Yeah, it'll look good.
It'll be great.
We're gonna start with laying down the base coat, undercoat, which is a silver metallic that we mixed up. And then we'll put the candy pearl grape down over the top of that. And then we'll do a clear on top of that. That's our next steps. Hopefully we get that done today. If not, it'll be finished up tomorrow morning. All right, side note here, we're just working on this Bronco, getting it finished up. It's been sitting for a couple of days. We just got it cleared a couple days ago, and it has to sit, make sure it's ready to go. So now we can start reassembling it, getting all the panels back on. We're gonna try to get the roof on today while we still got 4 guys here. So we're in the body shop right now. We've got a few projects going on. I'll walk you through what we're doing right now. On 2 different Broncos, actually 3 different Broncos in here. They're all in various different stages of the process. So this hood is for Bronco number 3. So once we get them done in the metal shop, they come down here and we get them semi-straight and then do an epoxy prime or a direct to metal prime. That gives them good adhesion. Once they're epoxy prime, then we can go through and seam seal all the seams to make sure that nothing is gonna have any exposed metal and cause rust. That's why you see a lot of rust in the older classics, because they didn't do a really great seam sealer, and then as they get older, the seam seal starts to shrink and allows moisture underneath them. This project over here is a partial restoration. We're doing an exterior paint on it right now and fixing some crashed parts. So it's getting a new grille, new front fender, new hood, and then we'll be repainting the whole exterior of this one. It was a pretty clean Bronco. We did an engine swap in it a few years ago. So it's got a 351 built. That's makes it rip pretty good. And we just got a rhino lining job done on it. So we're doing that, and then we'll start doing the bodywork and sand paint on it. And then this one, they're working on getting the clear broad down for when we put the hard top on. We try to put a covering right here so that there's no marring of the paint with the hard top sitting on it. So this is the one that the top belongs to, and it's getting ready to get put into that epoxy prime stage. This tub has been fit to the chassis, so all the gaps on the doors are good and everything, and then we'll tear it all apart and get it epoxy primed and ready for the finished paint work. This Bronco is in the middle of the paint process, so it's been epoxy primed, and then we do body work, get all the door gaps realigned, everything back to being perfect, make sure that all our seams look perfect, and then we put what's called a 3-in-1 or a sandable primer down. And then if we need to do any final body work, we make that happen. And then it's final stages of paint. So this is a brand new truck I just bought for Laura. See how well she treats it? It's all dirty. It's just because we live up in the mountains. She has to work on the mountain. Gets her dirty. We got to get this truck ready for hammers though. We got to get a hitch put in the bed, and then she wants wheels and tires, so we got some wheels and tires for it. Talk about this shop project here. So this is a full restoration. We're running a Coyote with a Tremec 6-speed behind it. This is a modern drivetrain. So this Coyote swap puts about 475 horsepower into a 98-inch wheelbase truck. So they get up and scoot. You can see our amp research steps here that we added to this one. It's partially painted because I like to make sure we get all the mechanicals done first, so that we can make any corrections we need to without having to make major paint corrections. If you're working over the top of brand new panels and stuff like that, they get scratched up, you end up having to repaint stuff. So I prefer to do it this way. I'm sure other shops do it differently. This is another Coyote swap that's going into that full-size Bronco, the maroon and black one that's on the lift outside. Apparently today's theme colors are maroon and black. Looks like we got a Land Rover we have to work on today. Alright, so we're mixed up our silver. We're getting ready to spray it down on our panels in the paint booth. We'll go check that out. We got some silver down yesterday. We're going to lay out the stickers. We'll be spraying purple. I've got some other things that need to go purple and some stuff that needs to go silver today. So what I'm going to show you first is we have to lay down a base coat. Sealer is what it's called. It's bonds to the metal. So the way a direct metal primer works is it bonds to the metal and gets you that etching. So you etch it up real good, and then, you know, like with a not necessarily fine grit. We consider fine grit 3000, but you know, it's a finer grit than you would, like, say, if you're just doing rough body work. So we etch that up, and then we go into a direct metal primer, spray the primer down, or the sealer, and then we spray right on top of that. So let's check it out. Okay, so what we saw was Rich laying down the primer base, and yesterday we watched him spray some silver, and that was what we did on the side panels. And then now he'll be going to the purple, transitioning over to the purple. For those parts in there, he's going to do most of them purple and then clear, but a couple of them are going to need to come out of the booth, and we'll have to tape off the purple and spray silver. Vice the side panels, where we're spraying the silver first, putting the stickers down, laying everything down, and then we'll spray purple over the top of that. So they put some sealer down on this hood yesterday. Got a little wet sitting outside. We'll get this sanded down. So they did a sandable primer yesterday on this because it was a little rough. So we'll do a sandable primer, sand it down. Usually we do like 80 grit to start and then a 320 to finish, and then it'll be ready for sealer and then paint. And then we'll lay out the stripes on it, and then we will get her finished up. A couple of them just use so small amounts. You're like, oh, we don't have enough, and then you're like, oh, it's only like 2 drops of it.
Yep. Like that yellow right there. I try real hard to hit 0 every time.
Yeah, you want to as much as you can, because
Yeah.
a little bit,
That's
especially
nice.
like with those ones where you're only putting 0.02 grams of it in there. You know, it can change the color quite a bit.
Oh yeah, that bright yellow,
Yeah.
like this oxide. Stuff goes a long ways.
Happy now?
Yeah, it looks purple.
It looks purple now, but we didn't. It did the other one too until it started. But I don't think you have. I think that's the right. I think we just had the formula just got messed up.
Yeah, just looking at the way the formula mixed out.
Yeah, that's
Still
better.
got that same
Yeah.
red hue.
Yeah,
but
that's more like
That's
what we're looking
more
for. Yeah. I don't know if you can tell, but that does have a little purple hue to it, but not much. It's more of a ugly brown, not the right color, not what we're looking for. And so we minor computer mess up, and we will got it corrected now. I think we got the right color. That's the right stuff for sure now. Yeah, that's what we're looking for. All right, so we're headed off to Hammertown this morning. Got the cars all finished. Both cars were a lot of work. Last couple months have been busy in this shop here, trying to get these cars prepped. A lot of late nights, a lot of late weekends. So got them all done. Thanks to my crew, they're awesome. Johnny Brooks, Jake, and the other guys that all came out. Steve came out for a week. Mark DiLorenzo came out for a week. The other guys that came out and helped as well get these cars prepped and ready to go. Our crew is all volunteers. Nobody gets paid to work on our race team. So it works out pretty nice. This car right here is the one we've been working on behind me. We have christened it Tapper Jake. And if you want to know the story, why it's named Tapper Jake, come by the pit. We're at pit 125 right by the Yukon mess tent. Come see us. I'll tell you the story around the campfire. This is an old race car we have had for a while. I've been wanting to put it back together just to have a good pre-runner that closely matches the race car. I built this car originally in 2001, and we did a lot of rock crawling with it. It was a ARCA car, so back when ARCA was a rock crawling series, we did a lot of that. We had to have a frame. So originally this was a Bronco frame. We started with a Bronco chassis, modified it from there, and then over the years, there's still about 3 feet of Bronco frame left in this car. So it has a title, has a VIN on it, everything. And we named her Tapper Jake. I wanted this to be very simple though, so we tried to keep it very simplistic in the interior, so that if we have to have parts off of it, they're easy to get at to throw on the race car. So it's a 351 engine, stroked out. It's running a King shock. It's got a lot of the same components that the other car has, the race car. And that way if we need something, we can rob it from this car. So this is the one thing we couldn't fix. Had a leak in the radiator. This radiator's been sitting around for a long time. I tried to repair it, tried to weld it, still leaked. Had a bunch of leaks in these fins, so they're probably just getting old. And then as soon as I got pressure to it, it had a leak in a couple other fins, so we're replacing it. We're gonna grab one from CBR on the way down. That'll match the other car. Change this radiator up a little bit, but it should work great. So continuation about this car, how it got developed or whatever. After ARCA, We went to UROC. We did some competing there. We raced one season XRA, maybe just one or two races. And then it got morphed into King of the Hammers car in 2009, I think. And it's been heavily modified since then over the years. That first year we were on air shocks, and we pretty much just drove out the desert till everybody's stuff broke and we all came back to camp and drank beer. And then everybody got serious, got a lot bigger budgets, started spending a lot more money. Cars started handling it better. You don't find the mile and a half of tools typically from where people strap junk onto their car and it didn't stay on in the first half mile of the race. So you don't see that out there as much. You'll see some spares every once in a while, some minor stuff, but once we started racing King of the Hammers, we kept trying to make this car better and better and better and better until 21, and then we built a different chassis after we decided this one was just getting too old. A lot of cracks, a lot of stuff. So this is our 2026 King of the Hammers Yukon entry. Did a new wrap this year. It's actually paint, not wrap. So a little history on this car. We built this car in 2021. During COVID, we were able to put it together. We weren't sure if we were going to race that year because of COVID. A lot of the crew had some time off, which was very nice, but we didn't start building this car until November of that year. By the 27th of January, which is 7 days before the race, we had a chassis that just got back from powder coating. So we did all the fab work, got everything, got it down to powder coating 7 days before the race. Had the whole crew here and we just assembled this car quickly. Made the race that year. It was a good year. So this class that we run in is 4800 Legends. So we're limited to a 37-inch tire. Unlimited motor. Ours happens to be a Ford, of course. 351 base, stroked out to 460. So we're above the 600 horsepower mark with this particular engine. We run a 3-inch King IBP shock. That's an internal bypass piston. In our class, we're limited to one shock per corner. We have to have a solid front axle rather than an independent front suspension. And we have to run a winch and 2 seats. My co-drivers are Johnny Brooks and Mark DiLorenzo. These are our 37-inch Mickey Thompson Baja Boss MTs. If you didn't know it, I'm a tech inspector for KOH. So any of the guys out here in Utah usually come to me before they leave so they can get their cars tech inspected. It takes about an hour of our time. We weigh the car, we do the chassis inspection, safety inspection. Most of the guys are coming that are first year racers, so they don't know all the things that need to go into the car. So I like being able to give that service out so that they can be prepared when they get to the lake bed. That's kind of the, one of the things that everybody's pretty nervous about is passing the chassis inspection, passing tech inspection. This is my favorite part. My helicopter footage shot. Good morning, everybody. It's leave day. We are getting ready to load up and leave. Sun's not quite up yet. There's Johnny Brooks's rig. He's gonna haul eggplant. And in front of eggplant, we got 1-ton Wanda. He also hauls the tent and the grass and a whole bunch of other stuff that we have to haul with us. When you don't have a $500,000 race truck hauler, sometimes you look like Beverly Hillbillies going to California. For all you young kids, Beverly Hillbillies is a TV show. So we got a lot of the gear loaded already. But we got to put the race cars in the trailer and head out to Hammers.